Hi, I'm Stavros. Good morning and welcome. And yes, it's another truck to be added to our fleet. What is it? Let's find out, guys. Let's do the countdown. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. This is it, guys. It's a Scania R450. Let's have a look. So this is a used example Scania R450 that we bought off T. Nolan and Son Scania in Castleisland in Ireland. So yeah, it's a standard specification R450. It was white, it was resprayed silver in our livery with a blue stripe, and we bought it with 420,000 kilometers on it, and there's now 433,000 kilometers. So yeah, it's taken me a while to get around to doing the video, but here we are. There was no real point spraying all the bottom of the truck as well, so I mean, the truck is over 3.5 years of age, so what's the point spending too much money on it? And yeah, the fifth wheel is in a fixed position there on the chassis, all pretty standard at the back. 2 fire extinguisher boxes, and you can adjust the top air deflector as well if you twist that rod there as well, so just like the S580 that I drive. And yeah, we've got the Bridgestone M729s at the back and the LED lights. Thankfully not those bog standard ones that you see on some Scanias that have the bulbs on them when you get to the low specification Scanias. Dunlop SP 346s there on the front, and 3 steps going into the cab of the R series. We do have the hump in the middle, and let me just open up the locker, give you a look at that. Now the lockers are lower to the ground than the S series, so it's easier to reach in fully at the back for your straps and whatever you have in there. And these are useless. You have to lift up the bunk to get access to these, but I would throw them out because I hardly ever lift up the bunk to put stuff in them. And the one on the passenger side is of equal size, so they're decent size lockers on them. And is that fully closed? Now it is. Yeah, so we don't even have the lamp here. And yeah, so okay, let's hop inside. You have the remote for the rear axle, and yeah, we just have heating there for the seat, no ventilation. And yeah, the single occupancy layout, so we have the 3 lockers there at the back, just like the S580, and I can stand fully in the middle here. I have a couple of inches above my head, so that's pretty good, but I can't stand up fully here with the air conditioning pod. Now this pod was put in down in Nolan's because this truck, would you believe, came with no air conditioning. Now this must be set up for left-hand drive because the fridge is on this side. What is the fridge doing on the left-hand side of the truck? That should be over here, like on the S580. And just storage drawer there as well. Now there is a bit of wear on the steering wheel as well. You can see that it's not leather covered, so that's a bit worn looking. Why somebody put this garish looking trim all around the infotainment display and down here, I've no idea. It's awful looking, but anyway, we don't have the pull-out table here, so yeah, just very standard on the R450. Now we do have wear all around the buttons there as well, you can see it, and it is beginning to wear on the S580 as well that I drive. So yeah, whatever coating Scania are using on these buttons, they need to rethink it. Okay, let's start it up and give you a sound of the engine. 13 litre engine, 450 horsepower, 2,350 Newton meters of torque. And you'll see there we're doing 30.9 litres per 100 kilometers. Now according to my figures, that's 9.14 miles per gallon, which is no more better than the V8 S580 that I drive. So hardly that economical, is it? According to this figure. So yeah, it should be more economical than that. And all the usual layout here as well. Lock the doors, up and down the windows, adjust the mirrors, the lights, and your spotlights there at the front as well, and fog lights, and you can adjust the headlamp beam there as well. Okay, I think it's time to get underneath the trailer and see what this is like on the road. 2 little drawers there as well on the R series. So yeah, very standard. You can turn off your rear reversing buzzer, and we still have hill hold and that awful lane departure warning thing. and your advanced emergency braking. Yeah, is there no, there's no air horn. Anyway guys, let's see what it's like on the road. Okay, off we go in the Scania R450. 2,350 Newton meters of torque. This is my first time driving this truck, and yeah, so far it seems pretty good. And yeah, we don't have any air ride front suspension, as you can imagine. We also don't have any downhill speed control on the steering wheel, and no retarder, just a 3-stage exhaust brake. Okay, it's a bit more rougher on the front, of course, than the S580 with the air ride front suspension, but I still like the feel of these trucks on their suspension at the front, because the air ride front suspension is just a bit on the bouncy side when you're on back roads. I think these leaf spring setups, they just give you more feel for the road. Now we're pulling a container there. We don't have much weight on it. There is a bit of freight on it, so yeah, we don't have much weight on that to give it a proper test. But yeah, you're not going to have a whole lot of power from these trucks. These are like a fleet specification truck. Yeah, we do have an auto function for the exhaust brake as well. It's just like sitting in the S580, of course. Same driving position, armrest. It's a different armrest actually, different coating on it. Okay, let's power it up now. Oh, it's already up into 8th gear, and I'm only doing 35 kilometers. So I would say there's a different gearbox setup on this truck to the S580 that I drive. Okay, let's power it up here now. We're coming out onto the dual carriageway. Yeah, there's definitely not a whole lot of power there, guys. There is only 2 airbags on the back axle of these trucks, so it's not going to be very comfortable when you compare it to the Renault trucks or the DAF trucks that have the 4 airbags at the back, and the Volvos as well. Why Scania insists on sending trucks to Ireland with just 2 airbags at the back is still beyond me. But anyway, there you have it. If you want 4 airbags, it is a special order. They do not come standard on these trucks. We're doing 80 kilometers, and I'll just put on my cruise control. It's revving in at just over 1100 RPM. So about 1120 RPM at 80 kilometers. Now we're on the motorway, so oh, that BMW is fairly flying it there, guys. Okay, we're up to 90 Ks. Put on my cruise control. Oh, we're actually revving in quite high there now. We're revving in at 1250 RPM. Now if you were to compare that to the S580, the S580 would be revving in at just over 1100 RPM, about 1150 RPM. So you can see the way this is revving in quite high at 90 Ks, which is probably to do with why it's not very good on fuel. 9.14 is not that good on fuel, guys, for an R450. When I'm averaging about 9.3, 9.2, sometimes 9.4 on the S580 with its V8 engine and 3,000 Newton meters of torque. Okay, I'm just testing out the exhaust brake. Now it does rev quite high there when you knock it into its 3rd position. Yeah, that's almost revving far too high. So I think I'll knock it off. Yeah, the exhaust brake is not particularly strong coming downhill there, even though we don't have a lot of weight on. Okay, we're just going to power it up the hill here, see how the Optic Cruise gearbox does. Now I am in economy mode. I'll stick it up to power mode. We're in power mode. We're already into 9th gear, and it's holding 9th gear. Still in 9th gear, so it's performing well up this hill. And now we're into 10th. So that was quite good up the hill now. At least it held 9th gear and I was in power mode. Yeah, we're just cruising away. We'll let him pass us there. This is Lundy. So Lundy, if you were driving your truck on Saturday morning, on the 23rd of September, I just seen you passing me. Corriboyle. There you go. Fuel for life. That's a 2021 Scania S series. Yeah, this truck is performing quite well. It's not. It is pulling slightly to the left, but not too bad. I would nearly put super singles on the front of this truck. It might be better. There might be less of a pull to the left. That's why I have them on the S580. I just find them better. That they tend to pull less to the left rather than the standard tyres that are on this truck. Oh, we have a nice new Range Rover passing us there. Very nice. Okay, we're just gonna head back to base, guys. Okay, we're still in power mode. We can have standard mode and economy mode as well. Now the truck was in economy mode and it was still reading 9.14 miles per gallon, so that's not good. This truck should be doing at least 10, maybe even 10 and a half. But okay, we'll power it up here now. Yeah, you can manually override the gearbox as well, which is good. Put it into manual mode. Yeah, so pretty standard R450. Let's go back to base. So there you have it, the latest addition to the Rory Lynch Transport fleet, the Scania R450. Let's hope it performs quite well, and who knows how long we'll hold on to it for and how much mileage it will clock up. But the Scania S580 has 347,000 kilometers on it now, and the latest problem is the air conditioning is not working. So I've no cold air blowing out of the vents at all, so that has to be fixed. And there's 347,000 kilometers on that now. So yeah, it wasn't pleasant driving around, guys, in all that hot weather that we had recently in September. It's like sitting in an oven when the aircon is gone. But I do hope you enjoyed the video, guys. Please give it a thumbs up if you did, and I'll chat to you all again for another one. Take care, guys. Thanks for watching. Cheers! That's Ryanair going off there. Off they go. Probably heading off to Stansted.